Hello everybody. So today we are going to show you how to import a mailing list into your Podio system from an Excel file. And the system is designed to do a lot of automated features after the fact. So we'll just start with the basics. We are going to open up our Podio here, and we are going to click on the organization that we want to work in. And it should have us a drop down of all our workspaces, and we are going to click on marketing. In your marketing workspace, if it was designed by us, you should have quite a few fields here. You'll see, populated zip codes, marketing campaigns, mailing list, DM campaign, yada, yada, yada. The main focus of today's training video is going to focus here on the mailing list and then here on the DM campaign. So we're going to click on the mailing list, and that should bring us up to what we already have in existence with our mailing list. So you can see here, we have 1,119 records. This mailing list, if I click here on the DM campaign, you'll see has been labeled as Successor Series 1 campaign. Today we are going to work on vacant homes. So jump back into my mailing list, and we're going to stop right here and leave this alone. We're going to jump from here down here, and we're going to open up our mailing list, our actual mailing list. So a couple key points here on the mailing list. So it is super important that you make sure that you are doing a handful of things with this mailing list. Number one, each address needs to be broken down into the street, city, state, and zip code, as you can see we've done here. Same thing needs to happen for the owner's street address. This is where our mail is actually going to be delivered to. And then let's see, on top of that, the owner's name needs to be separated when possible. First name, last name. The other thing that you'll have to manually do at times, depending on how your mailing list or how you've obtained your mailing list, is you need to check to make sure that the total name is no more than 40 characters. Now, I've already done it here, but just for training purposes, we'll go ahead and we'll go through and we'll click on this one. Creative design contractors. So you see that the total here, this is 8. This word is 6 plus 2 spaces. That's going to take us to 14. The word contractor has 11, so we're at 25 plus another space, and then the LLC. So all in all, we're at 27. We're at 30 right here, so we're good. The reason being, just so you know, is that the way that the address standardization works, it's going to put the first name and the last name together on the first line of your postcard. So, or your mail or whatever you send out. So if you don't go through and do this process, what will happen is if it's more than 40 characters, it will just give you an error message that will totally not even send the mail. It's not like it'll give you an error message and tell you to fix it and then resubmit it. It'll just give you an error and keep moving on to the next one. So it's super important that you make sure that you don't have any more than 40 characters in the name field. All right, finally, you'll see this list has some extra stuff, but the most important part of this list comes right here at the end. And this is something that you will probably manually have to do. With our systems, the way that we have everything set up is we have a field called campaign name. Now, the reason this is important is because campaign name allows us to basically go through and identify this list and separate it from the other lists that we've uploaded. The way that Podio is set up, with our system and any systems we've designed, is when you go to import this in, you will drag and drop this into your campaign name field in Podio, and it will automatically assign all of these records to this specific campaign when it creates it. Very important step. Make sure you don't skip it. It'll make your life a lot easier. So we're going to go right in here, and we're going to click on this wrench, and we are going to do an Excel import. We click, and we're going to choose our file, which is right here, Vacant Series 1, and we're going to open it. It's going to take a little bit of time to upload. Once it uploads, the next step is going to be field mapping, which hopefully this will allow us to do. They've been having some issues with it today, but we should be able to get it in. So it'll take some time, but it's going to take us to the next step, and I will be right back when it does.
That's fine.
Okay, so now we are in the field mapping phase of this whole thing. So we can see here street name, street address, address line 2, city, state, zip. owner, last name, all this stuff. So there's a lot of information here. Now, if you want to, I'm going to go back just for a second. If you want to, what I like to do personally is I like to remove fields that are blank from this. It just makes it a little bit easier to import it if it's only importing the fields that I care about. So, for example, we go here, last sale date, last sale amount, total open loans, potential equity, estimated value, publication date. Like publication date, we don't really need that. We can get rid of that. So we're going to just leave it like this now. So again, I'm just going to save this, and then we're going to go through and we're going to import it properly this time. So I go ahead again, I click here, and it's going to ask me to choose my file. There it is. I'm going to open this up, and it should take us to the field mapping section. All right, so here we go. So again, we know that the street address is actually the property address. So we're just going to pull that over. We're going to pull city over, state. It's really, really easy because we're literally just dragging and dropping. Name, we're just going to put there. Actually, sorry. So this blank field is actually the owner's first name. I don't know why it didn't come over that way, but there we go. Owner's street address, owner's city, owner's state, owner's zip. Okay, you can scroll down and look. We don't have phone numbers on this sheet. We do have beds, and we have bathrooms. We have square footage. Let's see, we don't have year, date, yada, yada, yada. So you can bring in as much as you want or as little as you want, but the most important thing is that you do bring over the owner's name and address, the property address, and then finally, if we scroll down here a little bit, you'll see there's lots of other sections. Last sale amount, we can actually click on this, and we can pull this in. Okay, and last sale date, if we really want to do that, we can pull this in as well. Okay, land value, improvement value. So we always just go in here and go to the total appraised value. And we get this to come up. Here we go, estimated value, and we're going to scroll this down. All right, and let's see. It's not going to let me do it. There we go. I got to open this up. There we go. So estimated value, we'll drag this down, and we're going to drop that in. All right. Now we can close all these. That's really nice about this field mapping with Podio as well, is that we can actually minimize any sections after the main one. The other thing that we really want to look at, okay, is we're going to close this, and we're going to go here. You see where it says DM campaign, okay? This is where we're going to drag our campaign name down and drop it right there, okay? A lot of this other stuff we don't need to worry about. We're going to come all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to hit next. All right, now Podio is going to walk through and ask us about keeping our data clean, and what they're going to be looking for is they're looking for exact matches on things. This is still kind of a beta process test with these guys, but we found that pretty much just whether you click the keys or you don't click the keys, doesn't really matter. So you'll see it says here, items and mailing lists to be updated if the following fields are identical: property address, property city, property state. We don't really care about that because we already dragged and dropped. Now it will run a duplicate search, okay? And just to make sure that we're not actually importing more than what it is that we're looking for. Okay, now this says here that it will update existing items in the DM campaign, which we don't want it to do because we've already run duplicates through this. That'll be a different training video where we'll show you how to run your lists to kind of clean them out of duplicates. So now you'll see here, we're at 1119, and if I just hit function F5, you'll see that some of this data is starting to come in now. Okay, if I click over here to this DM campaign, what will happen is, okay, and it looks like we have a glitch. So apparently it looks like when I unclicked that key in the DM campaign, what it decided to do was create more than one. But this is good. It shows you what not to do as you move forward. But once this is done uploading, I'll actually show you how to fix it very quickly, just in case this happens to you. Okay, so you can see that this kind of runs all the way down. So what I'm going to do is I have highlighted at the top already and checked this in the table format, the layout. And I'm going to highlight all the way down to the second to last one. So I'm going to leave one here, and I'm just going to delete these. Okay, Podio is going to ask me if I want to delete these items. I'm going to say yes. So the reason why, and I'll show you in a second, and it is going to take it about a minute to update itself. So we will be back as soon as it's done doing that. Okay, so now you can see that we've got just one vacant series and one successor series. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to fix our mistake very simply by going back into the mailing list. And we're going to do an Excel import. And we're going to choose our file. And we're going to basically upload the same exact list again. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to have the list review for duplicates across the board. It's really, really easy. It's a really, really simple process. Podio already has this filter set in it with its field mapping and duplication handling. So we're basically just very quickly going to import all of this information again. Very simple. Okay, we add our name. And we add the mailing address. City, state, zip. Okay, we don't need to add everything, but the main things we need to add are the name, the address, stuff like that. And then we're going to scroll back down. We're going to grab our campaign name and we're going to come all the way down here and we're going to add it right there. Okay, we're going to go through and we're going to hit next. We're going to hit continue. And when it takes us over to the duplication handling, what we're going to do, we can toggle the key on to avoid creating duplicate data. Instead, all we really wanted to do is we wanted to update the system the way that it's set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this key, this key, this key, and this key. And then we are going, and these, just so you know, these are the owner's address, city, state, and zip, because we can have Podio search this way, and then we're going to have it do items in the DM campaign will be updated if the following fields are identical, which is the name of the campaign. So we already know that the name of the campaign is that vacant series 1. So what it's going to do is it's going to update that vacant series 1 campaign with all these new people. So this is the items in the mailing list will be updated if they're identical, which they're not, okay? But mainly that DM campaign is what we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the import button. And you'll see here that our mailing list has got 2114, but if I wait a couple seconds here and I go to update it, it's going to start to do what it does, but it's going to kind of set it up a little differently. So it'll take it a second to go through. Okay, but mainly what we're looking for here is in this vacant list series 1. If I click on this, before it only had one record in it, you'll see that it's starting to upload multiple records, which is exactly what we want it to do. All right, so we have to wait for this to completely finish uploading, and we'll be back after it's done. Okay, so we're back. Now we can see right here that our mailing list has 993 related items attached to it. So we are done. We have uploaded our mailing list into the system, and it has automatically created us a new DM campaign. So if you guys have any questions, you want to comment on this or anything like that, feel free to open up a tech support ticket and let me know. But other than that, that should wrap up exactly how to load in a mailing list the right way and the wrong way and have it automatically create that DM campaign for you.